To me, the weirdest thing about what I'm trying to do, what all these people are trying to do who want to be in art, to want to have a medium in order to express their emotion, is that they are not only becoming vulnerable with their beliefs and their emotions and their feelings, but you have to be able to have something to write about, to paint about, to, use as your art. And with that comes some pretty intense highs and some pretty intense lows in order to have a full story. And I think it's almost a self-deprecating sort of adventure that you're going on, but also a self-fulfilling and I don't even know. It feels like what we're trying to do is collect so many different experiences and memories, whether that be incredible or terrible, in order to write about. And a lot of people have issues writing when they're happy and have a little bit more success writing about sad stories or about them being sad or a sad situation. And some people have the opposite, where for them, writing a happy song may come a little bit more naturally. And with that is this weird gamble on which one do I fall in? Do I have a better time, an easier time, a more successful time writing a sad song? Therefore, do I need to find myself kind of stewing in sad decisions or sad situations that allow me to write about it? Or maybe not even thinking about it, but getting myself into shitty or sad situations in order to have something to write about? And then vice versa, if you can only write with happy music, what do you do when you're sad? Or what do you do when you need that balance? And I know most people go between the two, but I know from experience and from a lot of other people who I've talked to about it is you normally do lean one way or the other. Or maybe you are super upset in a shitty situation, but yet at that moment you feel more comfortable writing about happy music. And because you're not in a place where you can hone into the happiness, therefore you're self-deprecating even more and becoming even more sad because now you can't do what you love. You don't have a way to express it because you're not in the right headspace in order to collect the data you need to write about or sing about. It's this weird back and forth. And kind of what I've realized about myself is I am so debilitated in situations by certain anxieties that I feel creating anxiety of my own feels more empowering. And it feels like something that I can sort through a little bit more clear-headedly and eventually get to a point where anxiety in general becomes something that I can handle a little bit more. It's always going to change, but I use weed sometimes. I use it for many reasons, including my eyes, which I think I've talked about, but I also use it to kind of put myself in a situation of self-anxiety in order to feel like it's something that I can control and something that I created. I don't know if it's always a positive thing, but it definitely feels like a nice creative boost when I need it. And, I've used psychedelics in the same way, as kind of giving myself a little bit of a boost as far as looking at parts of my head that I don't always feel comfortable with. I don't really know where I'm going with this outside of the fact of I'm curious what other people's, fuel is in order to find creative endeavors. Are they using drugs? Are they using alcohol, which I guess is a drug? Are they using working out? Do people get certain different highs from different things, allowing them to create different art? Does me not doing drugs that I don't feel comfortable with stop me from creating certain art? Or does me not doing drugs that I don't feel comfortable with allow me to be clear-headed enough to create art that maybe others can't? And it's all these weird questions because you go through the music industry and you see so many people have so many different vices, positive and negative, that make you wonder if maybe that is the key in order to create something that feels as successful as them. But then you also see people who use the same vices and aren't able to move forward because they're debilitated by them. And it's this confusing battle of trying to figure out what works for other people in all these different situations, when really I feel like at the end of the day, maybe that's the most debilitating and self-deprecating thing you could do, is trying to find other people's keys and use them for your door. You know, I'm curious if me even thinking about this and thinking about the fact that I try to figure out other people's keys sometimes is stopping me or hindering me from moving forward in my career. And I wonder if other people have that same issue, if they're so worried about what's worked for other people that they're missing the things that might work for them. I don't know, but it's definitely something that I'm going to keep exploring because I'm interested in what other people do and what works for other people. But I'm also nervous that I'm gaining too much information based on other people's experiences, that I'm missing information that is, unique to my own. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I guess that's what this is for, is so I can have a place to go through thoughts that might not make full sense and pick them apart and try to understand what has worked for me and what hasn't, and what I'd like to do next with all this information. I feel like in any situation, some information goes in one ear and then you have the opportunity to let it out the other, or to sift through it and take what you feel is necessary to your own experience and get rid of what you feel is not necessary to it. And then with that comes, am I sifting correctly? Am I sifting honestly? Am I actually taking things that are necessary to me and leaving things that aren't necessary to me? I don't know. And that's sometimes where I get confused is I only know my own experiences, my own morals, my own beliefs, but are they correct enough to sift through all this information correctly and find what I need in order to be successful? I think I'm rambling. I don't know if I figured anything out, but I sure as hell am more curious. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, for supporting me and helping me create something that allows me to stump even myself. Love you guys. See you later.